Well, the EPA delivers on President Donald Trump's deregulation agenda. The agency has released a proposal to permanently repeal the 2015 Waters of the U.S. rule and is now seeking additional public comment on the move. Joining us now for reaction from the AFBF Washington, D.C. headquarters is Regulatory Relations Senior Director Don Parrish. Thanks so much for joining us, Don. Now, the EPA recently asked for comments on withdrawing the 2015 WOTUS rule, but I think a lot of farmers would like to see it go away altogether. Why a withdrawal?
Well, we have to withdraw because that's the law. The administrative procedure for doing that is governed by a law that's almost 70 years old. So it really amounts to kind of dotting every I and crossing every T and giving the public the opportunity to comment on why this rule needs to go away.
Okay, so you talk about public comment. Who can comment and when?
Okay, believe it or not, it was published on EPA's website about a week ago, but it actually goes into the Federal Register tomorrow. There will be a 30-day comment period, and anybody can go out to the Federal Register. They've opened up a docket and submit comments, and it can be as simple as, you know, the 2015 rule was a significant regulatory overreach, and we need this rule to go away.
All right. Now, there's a separate rule coming up to replace the older one. When will we see the EPA's proposal for the new rule?
Well, that's a really good question, but the good news is that it is public that they put that new rule, the new definition of waters of the U.S., into an interagency review process. That process can take up to 90 days. So let's just do the math. If it's going in sometime here around the 1st of July, you're probably talking, you know, July, August, September. Sometime in that time frame, there will be a good review, and then I think you're going to see the agencies do a lot of outreach to industry, a lot of outreach to farmers, a lot of outreach to the public, you know, even environmental groups, to try to get their input on what they propose as being the next Waters of the U.S. rule. Okay,
but in the meantime, that 2015 rule is still being challenged in the courts. What's going on there?
Well, those court decisions are going to continue to be challenged as long as that rule is still on the books. This supplemental notice clarifies some issues that was a part of the first proposal to withdraw this rule, and they may very easily withdraw this rule and those court cases go away very soon. But the public gets another opportunity to comment, and really the most important part of this comment is that this EPA is proposing to completely and permanently repeal the 2015 rule. They're making that very clear, and they're also giving a lot of reasons as to why that rule was unlawful. So we've got an opportunity to look at that and got an opportunity to comment on it. So all of that is very good for the public.
Yeah, this EPA wants to hit the ground running. Now, there are a lot of moving pieces here, but when do you think the dust will likely settle?
That's a good question. I believe sometime before the end of this year, you're going to see this 2015 rule repealed. There may be some litigation around that, but I also expect to see some really robust comments over what the new rule is going to look like and kind of what EPA has proposed that new rule to look like. The good news is EPA has done a lot of outreach already to industry, to farmers and ranchers. They've done outreach to state agencies, to state governors, to state attorney generals, to state departments of agriculture. They've really done their homework much better than just trying to sell a rule. They've had to listen to people and develop a rule that I think is commonsensical.
Okay, well, we know you're a busy man. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us. AFBF Water Regulation Specialist Don Parrish.